for her comments.
Thank you, Dr. Rowe. Thank you so much. My comments are coming to you as a nurse in healthcare. And Mr. Speaker, I know you understand the situation that we're discussing tonight as well. You know, the situation at hand tonight, there's so many to choose from. You know, we are all vehemently against Obamacare, and we know that it must be taken down. We voted to repeal it, only to fall on the steps of the Senate with nothing forward. So we're taking it apart piece by piece. This Independent Payment Advisory Board, let's think about that for a moment. One of the points that my colleagues have made is that this is an independent board that's going to make decisions about your health care. The American people's health care, if they receive Medicare, a board somewhere in this country, I guess I would imagine here in Washington, will come together. Your situation, your diagnosis will be sent in, and they will convene and they will decide whether or not you're going to receive the procedure that's being put forward, or whether your physician will actually get paid for that procedure. So not only does this limit the health care that you might be able to receive, but it also dictates to physicians what they can and cannot do. Imagine a physician sitting down with a patient and discussing the possibility of a hip surgery after a broken hip, only to find out a day later that that surgery cannot be done because this independent board has decided that patient's age is too progressed, or maybe the patient takes too many medications, or they just feel that this isn't going to be a positive outcome. Imagine that patient, imagine that family looking into that doctor's eyes and saying, "You cannot do my surgery? You cannot fix my hip? I was a normally functioning individual 2 days ago, and now I cannot have surgery?" This is what Obamacare has put in place. It's cut $500 billion out of Medicare, and it's going to put a panel in place to limit the amount that can be spread around. $500 billion. That is an incredible amount of money. You know, I just want to elaborate on my comments. The board itself is just unbelievable. But let's face it right now in America. Physicians are closing their doors. Physicians are dropping patients with Medicare because they simply cannot afford to do business any longer. All of these things that we're facing right now, we talked about the SGR. We talked about how physicians are being paid. There is so much uncertainty in the healthcare world directly because of Obamacare. Hospitals are scrambling to find out and figure out and crunch the numbers on how they're going to be able to continue to provide care throughout the years moving forward. We must follow through on this legislation because it is going to affect every American. It doesn't matter how old you are. This is just a start. This is just a foot in the door. A board like this is dangerous beyond all imagination, and I applaud you, Dr. Rowe, for all of your work that you have done, because this is the right step to take, and I thank you.
Before you leave, generally, I thank you for yielding back. Let me just point a couple of things out that concern me about this bill. And again, back to my premise that healthcare decisions should be made between patients and their doctor. You know, I've had patients in my practice who've been in their 70s or 80s who are much healthier than someone who may be 40 years of age.